The following presentation on basic elemental theory is adapted from a paper by the Sage, and simplified for the purposes of education and entertainment. We at Piece by Piece hope you will enjoy. Look around. All around you, every part of the world you can see is made up of the 5 basic elements. Look at this simple patch of soil. It may not look like much, but it contains the very building blocks that our world is made of. If we look closer, past the pixels and the colors, we can see the base elemental structure of this piece of dirt. The structure that makes dirt distinct from every other block in this universe. Dirt is mostly made up of the earth element, however it contains very small amounts of wind and water. The way these elements combine and bond together define the characteristics of every part of the world around us. For example, if this block would have just a bit more of the water element instead of dirt, it would be mud. When something contains only one element, it is called an essence. These essences are very useful for magic, however, that is a topic for another day. Despite the names, things like water and air are not essences, as they contain trace amounts of other elements. Blocks and items are not the only parts of the world made up of elements. All creatures, too, are made up of complex structures of elements that define their behavior and their abilities. For example, the living spark is made up almost entirely of fire essence. Now, let us examine a more complex creature. Humans are a rare and endangered species, with fewer than 10 of them expected on each world. Humans are made up of all 5 elements in almost equal parts, giving them a unique affinity for different varieties of magic and abilities. Their hearts, in particular, are made up of all elements in equal parts. They are the only known example of a creature to have such a feature. Despite claims by certain researchers and arcanists, there is no evidence of a 6th element. You are advised to avoid any person or persons claiming to have discovered such a thing. We at Piece by Piece hope you have enjoyed this presentation, and wish you well on your next adventure.